You see that little cow behind me? Oh, he's like, oh, I don't know what that weird lady's doing. Looks kind of interesting, but she's a bit scary. It's because I've got this silly hat on, because the sun is so oppressive in Colorado. Anyhow, that's not what I'm here to talk about. I was chatting about something with a client yesterday, which for me is sort of one of the nuanced aspects of recovery that I find really interesting. And it's all to do with feelings of grief surrounding behaviours and just the way that we are, some of us, when we have an eating disorder. So I can look back and say that when I had an eating disorder, I was pretty obnoxious. I didn't know I was obnoxious at the time, and that's the difference. When you're in a certain brain space and when your brain thinks that food is a scarce resource and you're in an apocalyptic environment or something like that, then it's not actually particularly focused on anything other than itself, which makes sense if you think about it, because the brain needs to survive, doesn't it? And if it thinks that it's not going to survive because there's not enough food around, it gets very self-centered. And so we become like that when we have an eating disorder, but most of the time we don't know that we're being like that. And then when you recover and your brain flips out of that and the social parts of your brain start firing up better and your brain is out of that biological stress that's in when you're in energy deficit, so much changes about the way that you see the world, and specifically the way that you see other people. And when I look back and think about the people that I lived with at university, was with at university, and at other times when I had an eating disorder, I'm horrified at the way I spoke to people, but mostly the way I treated people. And when I say the way I treated people, I'm not just talking about the times when I yelled at my family or anything like that. I'm more talking about the people that I just didn't acknowledge, really. Like, they just weren't on my radar. Like, my brain just didn't think of them at all, or that they had any importance in my life. And I'll often look back now and think of, oh, that flatmate that I had when I was in my third year at university, who he was an irritation to me. Everything he did seemed to irritate me. I mean, most people irritated me, honestly. Everything irritated me, but him in particular. And I just had no interest in him or who he was or his life. He was just this flatmate that I couldn't be bothered with. And he irritated me because he got in my way. He'd be in the kitchen making himself lunch or something. God, the audacity. And when I would want the kitchen to myself. And I look back and I sort of, nowadays, I think, I wonder what he was like. I wonder what type of person he was. I wonder what he was interested in. This, that, and the other. What was it he was taking at university? Oh, yeah, it was that. I wonder why he took that. I wonder where he grew up. I wonder all of these questions about him now that I didn't give a shit about when I had an eating disorder. And now it seems so crazy to me that I would live with someone and just not give a shit about them in that sense, not be at all interested in them or their life or who they were or what they did or what made them tick. I can understand that part of my brain was sort of shut off. But it feels, I mean, I often talk about the things that I felt like I missed out on big time. Like, yes, I've told you before, I didn't go to my best friend's wedding because I didn't want to miss going to the gym that day, which is horrific. And I have so many regrets around that, and so many memories that I do not have that I should have. Shared memories with other people, friends and families that I don't have that I should have. But then it's also the things like this. Just, I missed out on knowing that person. He could have been a great person. We could have been great friends. And that sort of thing is always so fascinating to me. How much the brain can change and how much the brain is affected by energy deficit. Anyhow, that's just my thoughts for today. I hope you're having a good day. Bye!